Where do you see the platform going in 2 to 3, 4, 5 years, right? What would you like to add on from either different databases, services? Kind of where's the growth do you think you'll step into next?
Yeah, we are really pleased with having reached over 100 shelters and new shelters, that are activating every day. We see ourselves in the not so distant future, being in 500, then 1,000 shelters, and continuing to develop out tools where smaller organizations that, some that may not even be using software at this point can still utilize it, where pet parents uh, can just organically begin to use, right? Even for prior pets that were adopted and so on. And there are a lot of other areas that shelters and rescues are seeking help with. Foster support. We have a lot of tools today for adopters that actually translate over to foster support. That's interesting. So we think we need to go much deeper than we are today in behavior support, considering that is such a significant source of returns. And what else can we do to help get ahead of those issues, more directly within the Petszel experience. And just right transparently, we get to do all of this and provide it for free to shelters and to pet parents because the work is sponsored by great industry partnerships, right? Partners that are already today partnered with shelters. And so, right, that'll be of course, a key focus area to put food on our table is helping to power shelter programs across the industry, programs that have been in place for years, but in a far more analog way.
So I mean having it free to shelters makes it really a no-brainer to be able to help kind of streamline where they're going, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're dealing with either some that are not digital at all or really legacy systems to try to bring them to the future. It's always a lot of legwork in some cases there. But if for you guys are getting more in the technical side, can they bridge that gap, via the APIs and present it in a cleaner interface for everybody and make it more accessible, cleaner to be able to utilize, right? More friendly for people. That's kind of the game changer and where that can go for sure.
Yeah.
That's very cool. It's very cool.
We see deeper connections to, as our background, the co-founding team has a lot of background in animal health technology, veterinary practice management systems, and those areas. And we see a day in the not so distant future where that pet parent who needs to establish, a veterinary relationship, we're already helping that. Right. In the Petszel experience, 57% of adopters within 90 days are booking visits, but those visits should be able to be, booked just like an open table reservation or a ZocDoc appointment. And the medical record, which we have, should simply be there when the pet parent shows up at the veterinarian. Right. We're making it a lot easier to get it from the point of adoption over to veterinary because it's all there in the post-adoption app. But it should just simply be there when you show up. And those are some of the things that our team has a lot of background and can bring to life.
Especially if somebody moves too, right? You're going from one vet to the next. I certainly have gone through that, and it's like getting their paperwork and having it sent over and understanding the animal's health and what they've been through, right? It's just like our healthcare system, right? And certainly there's been challenges in just our healthcare, but just being able to digitize that and be able to have that data move freely between the sources is a big deal that just hasn't existed either, right?
It hasn't. There's some pretty big hills to climb to really see record mobility in pet care. I've been part of other initiatives that have had limited success in the past, and it has a lot to do with the lack of any data standards in this space, the forcing mechanisms you have on the human side to actually have reached some data standardization on that side. Insurance, right? It's not as significant on the on the pet health side, but I think we are really uniquely positioned in capturing the origin of that first medical record, and being part of that, being the first part of that chain, if you will, to getting it to a veterinarian, and and hopefully helping systems over there make it more portable as pet parents move around the country.